Hello everyone. It'll been a few hours, but we're back. My name is Gino, and this is my playthrough of Lost Belt 6. Wait, I need to turn on the desktop audio. You guys hearing the game audio now? Yeah, I think it's working. So let's recap a bit on the story so far. Let's see. The Lost Belt 6, we were supposed to skip it first to go for the Lost Belt 7, but something happened and now it's threatening to. Uh, it was supposed to, it's gonna collapse and devour the whole world. So we need to get in here and deal with it. Then also we set the goal to obtain Rongominia to deal with the alien god. Oh, so let's see. We use the storm border to get inside the Lost Belt. But yeah, there's a lot of things went wrong, and now we have a team of 3 people with Da Vinci, me, and Mash. Came in. What is it? Yeah, get to the shore. The rest of the staff cannot cannot communicate with us. Then we accidentally summon Tristan. Then I encounter some purple creatures. We fought them but cannot beat them. Then the fog took away our memory. We were separated. I'm now with Tristan in this Cornwall village. I wonder what happened to Mash. Some stuff happened. We meet a lot of fairy there. This unnamed fairy. So we're trying to help her, but she like, yeah, that's the gist of it. Wait. What? Drink? Morning. I slept like a baby last night. Good morning. It may be a shame to not have a banquet, but there's an upside. We got to bed earlier. So, what would you like to do today? Wait, did I? If you don't have anything particular in mind, I would like to go outside the village again myself. First, I need some food. I'm really hungry. I'm pretty hungry since we didn't have a banquet last night, so... Wait a minute. I missed... I went into an arrow, but quit because there's some IRL stuff. But I just skip it. I said abort. I clicked abort. Huh? You are hungry? Oh, good morning, Lysander. I'm sorry we couldn't give you the welcome you deserved last night. Fortunately, we should be able to make it up for it tonight, so I do hope you're looking forward to it. Is something wrong? Don't seem like yourself. I'm sorry, I didn't have anything to eat yesterday, so I'm just really hungry. Huh? You're hungry because you didn't have anything to eat? Haha, don't be ridiculous. Needing to eat? It's not like you're human or so. Wait, you are serious? You know, now that you mention it. Uh-oh. Oh my, I can't believe it. I never thought such a thing could be possible. Hello Baromia? Everyone, I have big news. Lysander is human. We have an unregistered human with us. Huh? Come on, it's too early for this nonsense. There's no way a human would be here aboard. I'm not joking. Take a closer look. It's not that his wings were torn off. He never had them to begin with. Hurry, come quick. We can't let him get out to the wood. Oh my goodness, I feel terrible about this. If only I had realized it sooner. Now I'm even more sorry we didn't give you the kind of welcome you deserve, Lysander. What? I thought this is bad news. But don't worry, we're going to make up for that right now with a really fun welcome party. Ah, what a wonderful day this is. Let me see. Oh wow, you're right. Lysander really is human. A human! Hooray! No wonder being around him makes us all so happy. Still, I'm still have a bad feeling about this. This is great. Now we'll never have to worry about turning into Moors. Huh? Where do you get the sense I'm in trouble? Of course you are. Oh no! I almost forgot. Be careful, Lysander. You tell them you're hungry. I'm too late. Are you human too? You are, aren't you? Don't have wing or command spell. How about the guy with the harp? Is he human? No, wait, he's a fairy. That's right, he didn't eat anything, but who cares? Just put him with the others. It's either that way. Here, Lysander, Marsh, and Tristram. Please let me show you the best spot in town. From now on, you'll be staying in the tent of the town square, right in the middle of the village. Ah, there's so much to do. I don't know where to begin. Well, it's been half a day since we were packed into this tent without so much as a word of explanation. How's the food they've been bringing you every hour, Lysander? It's really good, but I'm not hungry anymore. It's great, but there's too much of it. Still, at least they're being nice to us. We're not allowed to go out, and there are fairies guarding outside the tent in shifts. Yeah, that is bad news. This isn't a welcome party. We are prisoners. Do you know why this happened to us, Mash? Because Lysander is human. Thinking about it now, I was a little surprised myself to see how much you enjoyed that fruit. I should have realized it then, but I haven't seen many human either. Are you human too, Mash? I am not entirely sure. I think I'm a fairy, but it also feels like I've been called human-like at one point or another. But never mind that now. Right now, we need to focus on the situation at hand. You might think they're giving Lysander a warm reception now, but it's only going to heat up as time goes on. Really? Even more than this? Yes, really. You see, humans are very important sources of sustenance for fairies. Just having a human nearby makes them happier, almost like a mental bomb. But these days, the human population is carefully managed by the Queen, leaving lower class fairies without any humans for themselves. So, not entirely bad news, but they will force me to stay here. And I can't work on my goals, so this is bad news. In fact, the fairies of this village went up here because they didn't have humans. So, if nothing else, I'm sure they will take good care of you, Lysander. Yeah, so like an asset, not sort of an equal being. But what's wrong? Yay, humans! Humans is in the village, and not the defective one like the defective one from the rebel army, or ones made for the queen. Real high quality humans. Like there's a quality. It is so great. We have to keep them safe so they don't get hurt. We'll have to figure out what they eat too. They say you can't just give them nuts and fruit. Humans like meat, right? So we have some go hunt some meat in the wood. Man, I'm so jealous of the guard. I can't wait until it's my turn. I just wanna be near them. I wanna make them laugh, make them uncomfortable, make them cry. What the fuck? Why? I wanna comb their hair and pull up their full finger and skin them. What the fuck? Skin them alive? I thought you want to take good care of him. Too bad there's only two of them. No fair that Halobaromia get to decide who goes first. First what? This is bad news. It's all bad news. We will never all get a piece of them that way. I just know I'm gonna miss out. Yeah, we should just chop them to pieces and share with everyone. Fuck. I will take the left eyes. You can have the right. Yeah. I'll take the ring finger. You will take the middle one. Yeah, that way everyone can each get a piece. Hey, what do you think? What do you guys think you're doing? It's not your turn yet. Get back to your tent. And don't try anything with Lysander. You should have seen him on the athletic field. He used his head to score a goal. His head. I've never seen anyone play football like that. He's a really entertaining lad. As long as he's around, we're gonna have more fun than we have. What the? Who's that? You talk too much, Doga. We don't need talker. This fucking fairy. Jesus. Can't help ourselves. There's only two of them. Only two of them. Let's jot them out and share them with everyone. Let's jot them out and share them with everyone. But we're the only one who's gonna get a share. The Fang Clan gonna keep them all to ourselves. The Earth and Wind Clan talks too much, too. Let's get them before they get us. These motherfuckers. What's that sound? Is that fighting? How is that? I'm not sure exactly why, but the fairies seem to be fighting among themselves now. I suspect it has something to do with different clans wanting to keep you all to themselves. Jeez, these people are these fairies. The why isn't important for now though. You're obviously not safe here. You need to leave right away. But what about the guard? Let's head inland. Once we get through this village, we can make our way to the hilly area. From there, there's a highway, and once we get there, we can think about where to go next. But first, yes, we do need to do something about the guard inside. Unfortunately, I doubt you and I alone will be any match for them. Remember, these fairies are all very powerful. There's no way a human could. Oh? Oh, fuck. Oh good, you're still okay. Thank goodness. I noticed something was up in the village this morning, so I've been keeping an eye on things from afar. Oh my god, I missed something. What's happened to her eyes? It's awful out there. First everyone was yelling at each other, now they start fighting. Halobaromia was doing his best to calm everyone down, but I don't think it worked. Hey, keep an eye on things near the tent. Don't let anyone near it. I know we killed all the Wind Clan bastards, but there's still some Fang out there. Ain't no one we're letting those veggie lovers take the human away from us. We got to divide them both up evenly among the Earth Clan. On fam. It's no use, Lysander. They're not the fairies you knew anymore. They're being driven by their bloodlust. Come with me. I can get you out through the weak stitching in the cloth where I snuck in. You don't want to get out into the wood, right? Then please trust me. I know a way inland. Now come on, hurry. Those are Earth Clan fairy. Those look nothing like they used to. Ah, how this saddened me. What do I see now but the devil? Stop that, Tristram. You can't play your harp now. They will hear us. Hey, did you just hear something? Maybe one of the Wind Clan bastards survived. Kesley, come, go check it out. The rest of it was head to the tent, crush the leg first. That'll keep them from running. Oh crap, we gotta get out of here now. I'm so sorry, my fingers gonna move before I realized what I was doing. Anyway, yes, we need to get out of the village. I will bring up the rear. This way, everyone! Please follow me! Yes, this is it. Once you cross those 3 hills, you'll be far enough inland. Are you all okay? I know we have been running non-stop. I'm okay. Well, I'm managing. Indeed, there were 2 fairies after us, but it seems we lost them until we crossed that first hill. They must have gotten lost in the fog. I guess all that time you spent living inside the forest must have paid off. Thank you for showing us the way. You have been a huge help. But are you sure about this? Now that you have helped us escape, doesn't that mean you can never go back to that village? Yes, it does. But please don't worry about that, Mash. My home is safe now, thanks to you. Now please don't worry about me. You need to leave the forest as soon as possible. Go, quickly, before the villager find you. Have to put more distance between you and them. Are you okay? You're breathing pretty hard. What's that mark on your face? What mark? Ah, I can smell the wind now. It smells just like good old Salisbury earth. Soon we will be out of the woods, not much longer. Ah, beautiful Britain, you haven't changed a bit. You're just as I remember from when I had a name. Almost there, just a little more. I see a slope up ahead. That must be the last hill. Once we cross it, we will be out of this wood. Thank you. We could never have made it this far without... What's wrong? Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you hurt? Why don't we take a little... Ah, shut up! Just shut up! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! What happened? It hurt, it hurts so damn much. It's been hurting for all these hundreds of years I have been spent alone. They kept forcing me to do things that I couldn't do. Hundreds of years of endless frustration. No, nobody ever helped me before. Nobody ever even noticed me before. So why did you have to be kind to me now when it's already too late? Idiots, you are idiots. Have you really not figured it out yet? I tricked you. The only reason I brought you out here is so I could keep you all to myself. Why else would I be doing this? Why did I? What happened to her? Get ready, Tristram, Lysander. She's not a fairy anymore. She's more now. Just a thing that can no longer speak or listen. It's a dark sludge that foul the world just by existing. It is Britain's curse, and it's the death to fairies. What happened? Need to go back and read that part. I wonder if I can read it like right away. I need to finish the whole chapter. Man. Oh, forgot.
もちろん。立ちはだかるなら。なんだ。覚悟しろ。
ではそろそろ。
Hey, what should do?
Let's
do.
はい。我が音の前で万物は劣化し、物質は生じ。イルノート。と、おとなしくなさい。霧が落ちます。
何のために？
This might be difficult.
それはいつか来る兆しの星、希望の地、楽園の後、誰に呼ばれるまでもなく、あなたは星をかざすでしょう。運命は誰のために？アラウンドカリバーン。
吠えても無駄です。
Oh shit.
戦いですか？
では、
負けないぞ。
我が音の前で万物は劣化し、物質は生じ。イルノート。
やっ
はっ。
Well, it's up to you now, Tristan. Wait. It's a text here too.
Hmm. はい、よろしい。はっ。切り刻む。ひねり潰します。
Almost there. Come on. Well. Let's just use this. Just gonna save some time.
いや、もちろん。
はっ。
ああ、鐘の音が聞こえる。
I think we got her, but be careful, Lysander. She's not done yet. But she's not trying to attack anymore. Is she trying to tell us something? Pardon me. What the? Who's that? I hope you don't mind, but I didn't want to make you three put her out of her misery. As I know the Moors well, I thought I should be the one to do what was necessary. That rapier strike came from behind us like the wind. And there's something familiar about them. Sorry about that. You're free now. May you find peace in your next life. No way! You are... Hey there, Gino. Nice to meet you. Sorry Sorry it took so long to get here. Then again, I guess that's pretty confusing too, judging from the look on your face. A king doesn't typically introduce himself, but none of my attendants are here, so I suppose I don't have a choice. I am Oberon, a heroic spirit summoned here by humanity. I'm the one and only servant in all this Lostbelt who's destined to help you. Most people know me as Oberon the Fairy King. What do you think? Pretty cool, right? Oh man. Let's see if I can read it right away, that part. Main record, Cosmos. Wait. Beginning. Wait for the start of the section, right? Yeah, I think you can. Next part. Next. Some more. Maybe this. Of course I do, idiots. Let's say. Hold on, what's that? Okay, almost there. The next section, this right, the section right here. There, all done. You won't have to worry about beasts coming for you here anymore. Well, at least for a few weeks anyway. It's only magecraft, not sacrament, so it wouldn't last forever. But at least for those few weeks, you'll be able to rest easy knowing you're safe. Magecraft, the mysterious power of the Queen use. I didn't know you could use it too, Mash. Isn't Minecraft the hot new things on in the outside world now? I don't know about that. I mean, half my magecrafts is stuff I kind of taught myself. Besides, that stuff is kind of why I ran away in the first place. I mean, me celebrating with magecraft like this? That's just not possible. Mash? I'm so sorry if I asked something I shouldn't have. Don't be. That was just a bad habit of mine. You're not the reason I was feeling sad just now. Do me a favor and just forget about it, okay? Please? More importantly, I think it might be better you just move away from that village. It's not the other fairies' fault necessarily, it's just not a good fit for it. They're at fault. What about Salisbury? No wait, they're very hostile to Wind Fairy with damaged wing there. How about Norway? It's safe fairies and human live side by side there. And who knows? If you find a human who is good fit for you, maybe you'll even find a new purpose too. Thank you, but I would rather stay here. Even though I did find a new purpose, I still wouldn't have a name. I think I must be exhausted. Nothing ever goes right for me, no matter what I do or what help I receive. I must have been so despondent with myself that I even forgot the most important thing of all, my name. So I don't need to go anywhere. Here, nobody will be angry at my old self. Here, nobody will blame me for being a terrible fairy who wasted her life unable to fulfill her purpose. But I'm really sad. Not because the other fairies in the village hate me, but because I can't remember my purpose anymore, or my name. I see. I guess not having a name really is a terrible thing. In that case, what about this? I just came up with the idea now, but can we just name her? Thank you, Mash. This is the happiest I've ever been in my life. Oh, come on. Now you're just being nice. She's serious. I see. You know, I am happy you're happy. Still, don't forget, this is our little secret. If the villager finds out, we will both get in trouble. I'm sure they will say something like, even a village of outcasts has rules. Or Cornwall doesn't need any weird made-up custom. That's true. You might not know just by looking at him, but Halo Baromia actually used to be an aide to Lady Aurora. Even now, he still admires the elegant fairy way of life. I really love that about him. I feel the same way. He might act high and mighty, but I could tell right away that he really cares about the village. Oh gosh, I didn't realize we've been talking for so long. I'd better get back to the village. I will come again tomorrow, okay? In the meantime, enjoy your peaceful night's sleep. I will. Bye bye, Mash. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Huh? Ow, what just happened? Why does my right eye hurt so much? Where's the puddle I can use for a mirror? There. Now, what's going on with my eye? Huh? What? I see. So I have turned dark. I guess I'm done for now. And just when something finally worked out for me too. Shh. Just like that. Okay, I can continue. The last area of this section. Most people know me as Oberon, the Fairy King. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? What does that mean? Just thinking back. Or like in his dream. That's right, my name is Gino and yours is... Indeed, you are Gino, the master of Chaldea. And I am Tristan, knight of the Bewitch's Bow, and the child of sadness. At last, I finally remember everything. As for you, Mash, your name is not really Mash. Oberon, not Merlin. Merlin? Oh, I'm sorry, you're just, not exactly who I was expecting. But you look so much like someone I was thinking about that it threw me off for a moment. At any rate, I remember who I am now too. My name is Castor.
Oh no, this hurt. Oh.
My name is Castor, Artoria Castor. Oh, but that's kind of a mouthful, isn't it? Really, Castor was just my name in the village I'm from. So please call me... Oh, no. Call me Artoria. I'm relieved to see you've got your name back. Now, we had better hurry, or you'll get caught in that fog again. Go on, get going. See those trees over there? That's your goal. First, you should all see that what Britain is really like. After that, we'll have plenty to talk about. What Britain is really like? That's true, we need to get out of these woods. I agree. Let's go, Gino. It's time you saw the Twilight Island home of so many fairies. The utopia of wind, earth, and life, blessed by song and rain. The eye of Britain. Ooh, that's the tree of emptiness. It was chopped off. There's some interesting stuff there. Like the big hole. The storm is animated. Wow. The tree's all the way up north. The two big city here.
回避や無敵には回数制とターン制2つのパターンがあります。全体攻撃をする大型
Fragments. Meanwhile, several days after she got separated from Gino, the girl managed to make it out of the nameless wood on her own, ahead of others. Was it the difference in her innate servant ability? Simply a stroke of good luck? Neither, in fact. She was simply swept along by a Moors currently and unceremoniously spat out elsewhere. Yes, mash. Oh. The outcome speaks for itself. Deprived of her strength, her equipment in pieces, she could only collapse it by the highway. This is bad, very bad. If she stay here too long. Goblin? Oh, wait, the fairy as well. See, what did I tell you? I knew there would be one or two around this time of the year. Check it out, a premium wind fairy. This keep us fed the whole winter. She'll be easy picking for the slave hunter who prey on fairies who wander out of the woods. Or I could call her on her before she wake up. I don't know who she is, but it wouldn't matter when we sell her. We'll make a bundle and she will get a nice warm bed and someone to keep her company. Now that's what I call win-win. Ah, a whoop. There's a whoop here. But fortunately, fate had other plans for her. No wonder she's my favorite. Who's narrating this? That fluffy guy next to her is Sage Grim, the White Fang. Those thugs wouldn't get near her, not with him around. Oh crap, she's awake, and she looks really strong too. We're dead. Who are you? No, wait. Why was I collapsed on the ground? Whew, she doesn't remember anything? Hey there, young lady. We'll just, you know. Oh, a group of kindly caretaker. It's our job to help any fairies who collapsed on the side of the road. Yeah, that's it. We're here to help you. Now go on, get in our car. It's the latest model from Norway, and it's way better than walking. One of us pulls while the other two smile. That way two can relax and only one has to work. But hey, don't worry. You're our valued guest. We would never make you pull the cart. Now what are we gonna call you, Say, what do you think of Annie's, brother? Doesn't that seem like a great name for her? You mean we know going with Urchin like usual? Well, I guess a little change of pace wouldn't hurt. Sound good to you, Annie's? Now go on, try to stand up. Here, hold on to me if you need. Besides, you don't want to be laying around on the ground too long, or the giant Gorgy caterpillar will eat you right up. Oh, okay. Thank you. Whoa, what's it with all that metal? She got an iron shield, iron armor, and what's this? A canister? Damn, you think she's one of the Queen's Knights, seeing how she got all these weapons? You guys sure this is a good idea? What did the Queen kill us? Ha, you're still a big scaredy cat, aren't you, Wab? Don't worry about it. Even if she is one of the Queen's Knights, who cares? It doesn't matter if she can't remember anything. Yeah, what's gonna happen when she doesn't even know her own name? And if she doesn't have a place to call home, what's wrong with taking her to a new one? That's our merchandise, of course. The three fairies exchange a knowing look and cackle. And so, she and all her things went up on the cart with not a clue as to who she is. The cart began heading north toward Gloucester, beginning another separate journey. But all that aside, Hey, that whoop's still following us. What do we do, brother? You really don't want to mess with his life. They say if you kill one, you'll become a Morse. Guess just have to let him tag along too. Maybe we can even sell him off along with the girl. Don't worry, this fairy wouldn't be having much luck as long as her intimidating furry friend is around. Let's take only one road from here. I wonder where Mash is heading to. Like, just can't be too far, right? Salisbury. What does that mean? Oh, it is a word, not a name. It's a city in England. Beautiful, isn't it? This is the center of the British Lostbelt. See that super ominous castle looking thing over there? That's Camelot. These days, Britain is divided into North and South region, and Camelot sits between them. Most people live here in the southern central area. The four main cities in this region are Salisbury, the great cathedral, Norwich, the nearest port town, Gloucester, the city of fashions, and Oxford, the great dining hall. Each city is run by the head of a fairy clan. Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but do you know where Mash and Da Vinci are? Huh? I see, so there were others from Chaldea with you. I'm very sorry, but you were the only one I managed to find. And as you can see, it is just me right now, so tracking you down was the best I could do. But that nicely to my next point. Can you tell me what this mash of yours looks like? As long as I know what she looks like, I can have Blanca look for her. Blanca? Who's that? Did you just say you were alone? Oh right, here, let me introduce you. Oh, Moth? Pretty cute, right? I talk with her a lot. I guess you could call her my friend? Anyway, she's very neat and very smart, and above all, she's a hard worker. If anyone can track down Mash, she can. Okay, now that's settled. How about we start by sharing what we all know with one another? You tell me your story, and I'll tell you mine. And you know the rest. I see. So you have conquered 5 Lostbelt thus far. And why you weren't originally planning to come to Britain? You, Mash, Leonardo, and Tristan were not coming here to investigate this collapse. But then, after the fall, you landed here. You got separated in the Nameless Wood. That's unfortunate. No, I'm sorry, I couldn't be more helpful. I had no idea you were the only one lost. If I had only been more attentive back then, maybe I could have tracked down Mash and Leonardo as well. But I was so excited about finding you that I forgot all about everything else. So then, you were the one I saw at the beach before I lost consciousness. For the time being, there's one thing we can and should check. Mash is your contracted servant, right? Then you should have a magical or energy connection with her. If it's still active, then we'll at least know she's alive, even if we don't yet know where she is. How about it? Can you check on that for us? The connection is still active. What a relief. Great, then all we have to do now is find her. And Leonardo's is a servant too, right? Then I'm sure she's still alive and kicking too. Fortunately, the fairies here can't tell the difference between their fellow fae folks and servants. So as long as they are not human, it shouldn't be in too much danger. So let's just stay calm and trust them to handle themselves. Next, Atoria, is there something you would like to say to me? No, not right now anyway. Honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything I just heard about Chaldea, proper human history, the Lostbelts, and so on. Although, getting back to servants, heroic spirits, is that like a human turning into a fairy after they die? Huh. It is an interesting way to put it. But fairies are very different though. And you said both you and Tristan, are servants yourself? That's right. If you want to know more about heroic spirit and servant, I'm sure Gino there will be happy to fill you in on the way. Between a resident of this Lostbelt like you and a master from proper human history, who's a guest in this world, you two should be able to catch each other on almost everything. On the way, you say? Does that mean you have a destination in mind, Oberon? I do indeed. When you're trying to track someone down, a big city is your best bet. Besides, you and Gino both need to get used to the way things work here in Fairy Britain. So our next stop is Salisbury, the biggest city in the south. There we'll find food, clothing, shelter, everything we need, really. It's just about a full day walk from here. I know you've been up all night, but do you think you can make the trek? Of course, we don't have the time to sit around and rest. Now, let's not be hasty. I know how you must feel, but like I said, now is the time to take it easy. Remember, Britain is a big place. If you keep pushing yourself so hard, you will burn out long before we find MASH. Don't worry. You can tell she's okay because you're here, you're her master, right? Well, my own intuition is telling me she's perfectly fine too. And I'm the Fairy King, so that really means something. So let's start with Salisbury and figure out the rest from here. Salisbury, huh? What should I do? It might be kind of dangerous to go back now. But I also can't leave Gino to fend out for himself. Plus, I don't care what this Oberon guy say. He really seems a lot like Merlin. Would it be okay if I came along too, Gino? I know I mistakenly went by MASH's name for a while there. But I want to know more about you and about, right, proper human history. Oh, sorry, I just assumed you would be coming with us. Hey, yeah, I completely forgot you were already part of the team. Right, of course not. Oh gosh, what am I even saying? Of course you wouldn't want a country bumpkin like me tagging along, huh? Oh, You're shaking my hand again. Does that mean it's okay? Of course, I'm glad to have you with us, Atoria. Ah yes, now that's a lovely friendship. I was definitely on pins and needle back in Cornwall, but it seems not interfering was the right choice after all. In theatrical terms, I believe this is the part where we say, now that the actors are in place, the real story can begin. Chaldea alone wouldn't be enough. The child prophecy alone wouldn't get there in time. So we'll need both to defeat the mighty Morgan.
Ooh.
Still Salisbury. Ah, the prophecy was true. That girl's our star. Our star of hope. She'll be our salvation. She'll be our path to forgiveness. She's our savior who drifted to a shark with a ship full of treasure. She's the one who will hear the voice of paradise and chant the promised name. Ah, dear Toria. When you grow to the age of 16, healthy and strong, may the Queen's soldier never find you. One day you will go on a journey and ring the sixth bell, the six bells, and save all Britain. A journey to welcome our true King. Gloucester, Salisbury, Oxford, Norwich, Orkney. We may not know where the sixth bell is, but we are confident you will find it. The staff of selection has chosen you. You are Fairy Britain's only hope. Now go on. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry and greet your 16th birthday. We have complete faith in you. The village is done for. The executioner squaddies are here. Hold your head high, grip your staff tight. Now's the time to begin your journey, Artoria. Remember, no matter what anyone say, you are unquestionably the child of prophecy. You are the splitting image of her. So these fairies have seen the child of prophecy? Like before? I'm sorry, I'm so weak. I'm sorry I can't live up to your expectation. I'll do my best, I promise, as much as I can. Is she sleep talking? Wait, smack. What is this? You sleeping already? Hey, I get it. There aren't many things cozier than a campfire. Huh? Oh no, was I asleep? I just remember Tristan playing his harp and then... So it was sleep talking. Ah, how this saddened me. I was merely trying to soothe your exhaustion. But I cannot help but notice you don't seem to care for my music, my liege. I mean, Maid Artoria. Wait, what do you mean maid? Maybe it's the role they're setting up. It was when they go to the city. I'm sorry, I'm just not used to hearing music. But it really did help me fall asleep peacefully. I would love it if you play again when it's bedtime. Ouch, you wound me, Maid Artoria. No bard wants to be told his music put people to sleep. Hey, you can't blame her. We have been working non-stop nearly all day. We are all exhausted. That's why we're camping out here tonight before making our way to Salisbury tomorrow morning. Victoria, you can put up a bound field to keep wild animal away, right? I hate to ask since I know you're sleepy, but would you mind? Oh, yes, of course. Okay, I'll be back soon. Now then. I know we told Victoria that proper human history is like a parallel world to Britain, but of course, that's not the whole truth, is it? The truth is, proper human history is the rightful historical timeline and is fundamentally incompatible with this world of fairy Britain. As Chaldea, you have to erase the Lostbelt to ensure humanity's future. And now you're trying to come up with a way to tell Victoria this without hurting her too badly. I know it's wrong to hide that, but... I see. I suppose you have betrayed the people of Fire Lostbelt already. Damn, I usually pride myself on being an excellent conversationalist. But even I'm having trouble coming up with the right word to heal the wounds in your heart. So for now, the best I could do is offer some words of consolation. It's okay, Gino. This Lostbelt wouldn't fall by your hand. Remember, it's not falling apart on its own. If anything, I would say you're doing it a favor. Really? Yes, indeed. Human history simply could not ever prosper in this version of Britain. As a flawed world that was always destined for destruction, history took a dreadfully wrong turn here. The only problem is that it's threatening to take proper human history down with it all goes apart. That's why guys like us from proper human history have to do whatever we can to save it. And that means defeating the one who's been ruling it from high for 2,000 years, High Queen Morgan. Hold on, did you say Morgan as in that Morgan? Yep, that Morgan. The same one who proved to be King Arthur's ultimate Achilles heel in proper human history, even after he united all of Britain. The extraordinary witch who lured King Arthur into countless traps so she could take Camelot for herself. And the mother Mordred, the treacherous knight, the child of King Arthur who proved to be his downfall. She's the one who ultimately destroyed Britain, and here she's Fairy Britain's ruler, and she will bring it all to ruin. Let's see, I think you Chaldeans should probably refer to her as this Lostbelt's king. Queen Morgan, King Arthur's arch enemy, and here in this Lostbelt. Anyway, based on everything you have told me, it sounds like Morgan is behind the outside world an abnormality. So as long as you can defeat her, that should end the threat to proper human history. After that, you can just leave this place to its fate. Whether it fall apart or pull itself back together, you wouldn't need to feel bad about it. Look over there. What was it a Lostbelt need? Look over there. What was it a Lostbelt need to survive again? A tree of emptiness? Well, I'm guessing that world tree, the giant ash over there beyond the sea, is it? It's it. And as you can see, it's been dead for a long time. So this Lostbelt definitely hasn't got long left. So it's been dead for a long time. How long exactly? Was it on fire at any point? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, it was. It went up in flame not too long ago. Then died out again just as quickly as it started. I wonder what that was about. I wonder what that was all about. Anyway. Anyway, I think that's enough talk for tonight. Don't want to overdo the info dump. So even if you don't remember anything else we talked about tonight, at least remember this. Defeat High Queen Morgan, ruler of Fairy Britain. Nice and simple, right? As for the rest, I will tell you once we reach Salisbury. Once you see a fairy city for yourself, I think you will have a much better handle on what life in Britain is like. Whoops, so sorry to interrupt, but we got monster. Get ready to fight, you know. I'm so sorry. I accidentally skipped a step when I was making the bound field. And I ended up summoning a pack of wild birds by mistake. Could you help me out, please? I never thought the day would come when my leash would beg me for help. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting she's not King Arthur I knew. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Oh right, Tristan used to be. Even if she's not, I'm still glad to have her around. Me too, it's such an honor that it actually makes me feel sorry for the other Knight of the Round Table. Here they come. Be careful, Gino. Britain's beasts are not to be trifled with.
Iけない子だわ。今のうちに準備を。
They're all single target.
あ、うん、やってみる。我が手に白金の鍵あり。虚無より現れ、その指先で触れたもの。我が父なる子に。
It's only been like what? An hour. Kind of strange.
蹂躙戦いですか。覚悟はいいかしら。やれ切り刻むの。邪魔者にはそろそろご退場願おうかしら。見えなくサラスバティメルトアウト。楽しみましょう。アン、ルー、トラ、ワルス、エトワール。私は魔女じゃない。
Yay, we won! We trounced them. Man, that feels good. Ah, this makes me happy. That was the first battle I have one-handedly since being summoned. True, we haven't had much luck with combat since we got here. Hey Toria, are you actually pretty competitive? Oh no, it's nothing, really. I'm just glad I was able to contribute. I see, so you're already strong enough to handle a murder of Night Crow without much trouble, hmm? Very nice. That's even better than I was expecting. Tristan, your bow may not be particularly strong, but its marine is exceptional. You're clearly well suited for battle against a large group. With you on our side, I bet we could win no matter how outnumbered we may be. And as for you, Artoria, you're much more of a wild card than you look. Is that string tool of yours handmade? A rare weapon like that would be very effective against an opponent who never seen it before, especially as a distraction. And above all, your summons were fascinating, Gino. Temporarily summon heroic spirit to aid in battle, huh? I had no idea it was such a flexible and powerful way to fight. Human magecraft doesn't tend to work very well against fairies, but summoning heroic spirit is definitely an exception. The only problem with it is how long you can last, given the incredible demand on your stamina, magical energy, and sheer luck. Plus, it seems like the longer the battle lasts, the more of a toll it takes on you. But as long as you are careful about that, you should be able to handle anyone, fairy or not. Wait a moment, human magecraft? You can use magecraft, Gino? Just barely, thanks to my mystic code, but yep. Why is that surprising? Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I was just a little taken aback. You see, magecraft isn't really used much in Britain. Basically, fairy performs sacrament without any help from basic magecraft, spell or mystic code. So magecraft is considered unnecessary at best and only practiced by a weirdo at worst. In fact, to be totally blunt, if you tell people you use magecraft here, they tend to look at you all funny and ask why you would go to all that trouble. Yeah, personal experience. I see, you do have a point. Fairies simply have no need of magecraft. And since this Britain is a land dominated by fairies, that would mean magecraft is effectively worthless here. So why do you use it then, Artoria? Oh man, after everything I just said, you really went there, Gino? Yeah. That's really insensitive. Now, it was an honest question, Artoria. You know he didn't mean anything by it, right? Anyway, you don't have to answer. You would rather not. As for you, Gino, I would suggest you wait for a better time before bringing this up again. Anyway, I think we might have gotten distracted from our main purpose. Now that we have got this nice camp set up, we should use it to get a good night rest. I'm sure there's more you would like to know about Gino, Artoria, but why don't we save that for tomorrow? Fortunately, there are none of the Queen's soldiers, no Moors, and no rebel army around here. And once we wake up in the morning, it's only another hour's walk to Salisbury, where we will be able to have a much more in-depth conversation. After all, if you're going to have a fun discussion, you should save it for a nice and relaxing place, right? And that's the gist of the world's history up until 2017. Whoa, so other worlds really do exist. England, Scotland, Ireland. And you said there are other countries beyond the ice too, like France and Italy? I can't even imagine so many different countries and culture and people. It sounds like you come from a really wonderful world. Britain without a ferry, huh? That sounds like a nice change of pace. Well, from where Gino is sitting, I would imagine he'll find this Britain full of fairies to be quite the change of pace. I do have to correct you on one thing though. It's not that there aren't any fairy at all in proper human history where Gino come from. While mystics have definitely faced since the AD era began, fairies are still around. Though of course, there are quite fewer of them and they don't reveal themselves to humans much. Heck, I'm a very heroic spirit myself. Come to think of it, Oberon, aren't you from A Midsummer Night's Dream, right? Written by William Shakespeare, England's greatest playwright. It may well be one of the most famous stories about fairies. It's basically about a love square between humans. But two of the most important characters are Oberon, the king of fairy, and his queen, Titania. In the story, Oberon wants Titania to give him one of her pages. So he hatches a plan involving a potion that will cause the drinker to fall in love with the first living thing they see upon awakening. But two humans end up taking it by mistake, causing them to forget about the person they love and mistakenly believe they are fated to be with someone else. Well, without going into too much detail, it all wrapped up nicely in the end. In the sort of comedy of errors, focus on love and miscommunication you see everywhere. But unfortunately for me, it became so popular that it kept being retold for generations. Thanks to that, the word fairy is now synonymous with mischievous Puck and narrow-minded King Oberon. So at least in one sense, I might be the most famous fairy in the world. If you have never read it before, you should give it a shot once you get back to Chaldea. It doesn't paint the most flattering picture of me, unfortunately, but never mind that. And just to be clear, I swear I wasn't trying to make trouble, okay? I'm just a plot device, really, only there to get the romantic hijinks rolling. So then, does that mean you are a fictional character, Oberon? Is it even possible for someone as vaguely defined as that to become a servant? No, it isn't. William Shakespeare, A Midsummer's Night Dream is indeed how he's best known. Legend of Oberon, the Fairy King, have existed in Europe since ancient time. Perhaps most notably, there's a poem about him from the 15th century, well before Shakespeare's time, where he's described as a king of fairies who can use magic to make any wish come true. Really? I didn't know about that one. The point is... Wait, he doesn't know? That's weird. The point is, the character was inspired by an existing model, and that model must have become the base for my servant form. Which came first? Who knows? Just another version of the chicken and egg problem. What about Titania then? Oh, she's all Shakespeare. There's no legend in fairy history of anyone by that name. The name Titania probably came from the Titan of Greek mythology. The Oberon in A Midsummer Night's Dream is pretty self-centered after all. You could never find a lady who would tolerate him, so Shakespeare had to make one up. But I digress. Sorry for wasting our time. Salisbury is just up ahead. Don't worry about the guard. I'll handle them. And all you three have to do is to stay quiet. It's okay. My face is basically a free pass into the city. Oh right, one more thing. Do not tell them your name. If they ask, you can't avoid answering. Make something up. You don't need anyone else finding out that you are human, and you never know who might be listening. Hold on, isn't it dangerous to lie to fairies? I heard their eyes can see through falsehood. If so, should we try to avoid lying wherever possible? Oh, don't worry, the fairy here don't have power like that. I don't know if they lost them thanks to all this prosperity, or if they threw them away in order to be prosperous. But either way, they definitely can't tell the truth from lie anymore. The only ways you can tell if you're dealing with a good person or not is when everything is said and done. How else could someone as evil as Morgan have stayed in the top of this world for so long? Yes, it looks like a nice city. So this is Salisbury. Whoa, that really is a huge cathedral. Ah, how this gladdened me. The air here is very different from Cornwall. There may be fairy everywhere if we turn here too, but I don't sense anything dangerous about them. They all seem happy and full of good cheer. Is there any sort of festival taking place today or something? No, this is just life in Salisbury. It's the only free city in all of Britain. There are about 200,000 people living in Salisbury. There's some wind, earth and fang fairy. Some are fairy who emerge spontaneously from nature, and some are even independent human. Independent human? Yeah, they haven't talked about that yet. Human who have won their freedom and now belong to no one but Britain itself. I was hoping just to tell you about that aspect of life here once things has settled down, but I guess it was bound to come up sooner or later. And since the great cathedral is here too, this seems as a good place as any to get into it. You Chaldean may have thought there were no humans in this Lostbelt, but strictly speaking, that's not true. Humans do exist here, they're just not at the top of the hierarchy. Here, they are used as tools to enrich fairy society. In proper human history term, they are essentially slaves. Don't you think there was something strange about this city? It's wrong, twisted, unseemly. Now that you mention it, the idea of fairy city seems wrong. You're right, it's more like human city than a fairy one. Exactly, fairies are supposed to live in harmony with nature. Even when they form community, it's the way forest children and stone children gathering under the same great mother. They were always just the divided spirit of the planet, who never possessed a culture of their own. But as you can see, Fairy Britain has become a place where fairies imitate human society. For about 14,000 years, fairies have raised humans like cattle. In that time, they used humans' innate creativity as an entertainment, which in turn allowed them to flourish. Fairies live long life, and they require no sustenance whatsoever. Since there's nothing they can't do, they never change, and they never try anything new. In contrast, humans have countless weaknesses. They live short life. Their injuries don't heal. They need food to survive, and they can easily be killed by wild beasts. So naturally, humans came up with all sort of things that would allow them to survive and flourish in spite of all those weaknesses. I'm guessing the fairy found that kind of human thinking to be absolutely fascinating. It was like finding a shiny new toys. So they began keeping humans as livestock, followed by superficially copying their culture with cities like this one. They completely ignored the substance behind human agriculture, architecture, and other various fields of study. Instead, only imitating at its most basic, superficial level. Anything they couldn't copy manually, they fudge with magical energy. That cathedral there is the worst offender. Fairies have no god and no religion. There was no actual point to make the cathedral. I just thought it was fun. That's fairies' Britain culture, and it's how they treat humans. So, basically, they rip off human culture? Yeah. Well, yes, I guess you could put it that way. Still, as a fairy myself, I can understand how things got to this point. Why they definitely took it too far. It makes sense they would get like this in a world where humans are endangered. Both in proper human history and in this lost belt, humans are fairies' favorite source of luxury entertainment. This land come to be known as Fairy Britain when fairy began with regulating human at a societal level. It's also the key political policy of High Queen Morgan, your enemy. Huh? Are going to fight Morgan? Yep, or at least that's the current plan, isn't that right, Gino? I still don't have a good handle on the situation here, but I do know we need to meet her. I don't know about fighting yet, but we do need to meet this Lostbelt's king. But first, we need to find my other two companions. Oh, right, we do, don't we? First thing first and all that. Why don't we start with the pub? There are always people coming and going in the pub. And some of them may know something useful. Atoria? Why did you stop? Is something wrong? Gino? You helped me out a lot and I really do appreciate it, but what should I do if he's going to fight High Queen Morgan? It would only complicate things if I stuck around. I wanted to stay with him until he found Mash, but maybe it would be better to go our separate way here. So that's how it is. By the way, Atoria, do you know what they do to humans in this city? They catch without their owners? They are captured as a range escapee and sent up to New Darlington. New Darlington? As in Darlington, the National Slaughterhouse Theater. National Slaughterhouse. Say what? That's horrible, but wait, isn't Salisbury supposed to be a free city? The head of the Wind Clan run this place, right? Surely they wouldn't do anything so horrid. Not necessarily. Not even the head of the Wind Clan can defy the High Queen. So it would definitely be to our advantage to have as many trusted collaborators with us as we can. You know, still doesn't know right from left here, and on top of that, he's human. Without an owner to watch over him, it would be just the nameless wood all over again. I would do it myself, but since I'm obviously noble, even a royal, it would strain credibility if I tried to claim a human of unknown origin as one of my attendants. But you, on the other hand, would be perfect fit for Gino. And don't worry, I'm not asking you to stay with him forever, just while we're in Salisbury. You prefer that over being alone too, right, Gino? I guess you're right. Being alone in Britain these days would make you more likely to attract suspicion from the authority. But what about Tristan? Couldn't he pretend to be Gino's owner? He probably could, but Tristan knows just as little about Fair Britain as Gino. It wouldn't take much questioning from one of the clan guard to expose the facade. It wouldn't go that route unless we had no other choice. But if I have a human attendant, that would mean I would have to be an upper class fairy, which would also make me Gino's owner and God help please. It would just be pretend, or were you actually hoping to make him your pet? No, I couldn't. Pretend is fine. I'm still much too young for that. Great, then it's settled. Gino, Arturo is going to be your owner for a while. It'll be the safest way to travel here. Think you can play along? Thanks for doing this, Arturo. Don't worry, I actually had some acting experience. Okay. If you're sure you want me to do it, you want me for this, then I'll do it. Besides, we've come this far together, so I certainly don't mind traveling together a little more. In fact, looking on the bright side, this is actually making one of my childhood dreams come true. Wait, your childhood dream is to have a human? Oh, what dream would that be? Same dream every fairy who grew up in the country has, joining the rank of upper class city folks. Hey there, my good Salisburian. How are you all on this fine day? That's right, it is I, Oberon, the fair king of the autumn wood, the missionary of peace, flower and fairy tales, here to grace you with my boisterous presence. Wow, he's a celebrity. Hey Oberon, glad to see you're doing well. Nice to have you back in Salisbury again. Just make sure you don't put anything on your tab today, you hear? Oberon, I know coming to the dating was a good idea. Oi, when you're paying back the money I lent you. Wait, what? I still have to thank you for help the other day, Oberon. Your advisory got the tree in my backyard to settle down. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back though. So I thought he's a royal celebrity, but he doesn't have money. Makes sense in his servant, not a native fairy. But it's kind of funny. First you need money. I mean, but it's kind of complicated. And people just lend him for a long time. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back though. Lovely, Oberon. You have some time to spare, right? You simply must attend our tea party today. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back though. Yeah, everyone gonna say that. How many people? How much money did you lend? Do you borrow? There's the poor little prince with the 10,000-year tab. Don't worry, I'll cover this round. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back though. 10,000 year? Jeez. Will you all cut that out? Stop pointing out how popular I am. I'm here with some important friend today. Save the money talk for another time, alright? We know. Don't worry, we are just joking. So it's just you have enriched our life way more than the Queen's banknote ever could. We're happy to treat you. You in debt, Oberon? What was that about 10,000 year tap? So you're poor, even though you call yourself king? Well, yes, my financial are a little lean just now. Bluntly, I'm flat broke. But what do you expect? When I was summoned to Fairy Britain, all I had on me was this cloak. I woke up in the forest, piled high with dead leaves with literally nothing to my name. Usually, in situations like that, I could be too bummed to do anything but wait for help from proper human history. But since I arrived first, I knew there were things I needed to take care of. Fairies thrive on what they find interesting, so I went around putting on show in the various cities here. I sang songs, right up the crown, told fairy tale, entertained housewife, and living up the night. Over time, the people of Britain came to know me as the regal fairy king of a fleet nobody's heard of. Well, at least in the major city anyway. Oh, so I didn't know about you because I'm from the countryside. Sorry about that. I'll try to branch out more from now on. Still, it was a hard-fought battle in its own right. Can you imagine what it was like for me to act like nobility without any actual capital? I can recall a few dozen times I lined up my station so I could sing a love song to a beautiful woman I met at a tavern. And indeed, there's nothing quite so tense as that. As a fellow poet, Oberon, I have the greatest respect for what you have accomplished here. I don't suppose you'll be willing to give me a few in-depth lessons on how to roll fairy style, would you? If you would really like to learn from me, I could be glad to teach you what I know. Besides, with your music backing me up, I bet I would be able to expand my clientele even more. Let's go with that. Now I see, you're both scrondo who can't be trusted around women. Anyway, where should we sit, Oberon? My favorite table is the round one in the back, on the raised floor. It's harder for other customers to see you there, and it gives you a full view of the whole pub. Now, how about we start with a toast of fruit water? Excuse me, cutie. Are you the new server? Let the owner know we will be using the table in the back, okay? Oh, and it would be like to order 4 apple water. Wait, what? What? You got it. I'll have them ready in just a moment. Huh? Yeah, like... Did she still have a loss of memory? Da Vinci? Wow, no way! Gino, it's really you! Like, just like that, there's a weird encounter. Whew. Another no battle note. Oh man, you will never believe what happened to me. So after we got separated in the fog, I let my instinct lead me, and that brought me right back to the beach. Luckily, that beach was far enough away from the foggy wood that I was able to follow the coastline east. Eventually, I caught sight of Salisbury here and figured I ought to be able to learn more in a populated city. Then, when I got here, an angel far too good for this world just appeared on my pup's doorstep. She was very unsteady on her feet, but I could still see the fire in her deep blue eyes when she said, "What a lovely place! Would you let me work here for the rest of my life?" What? Why would she say that? I never said that. What I said was, "I'm looking for my companion, but first, could I have a glass of water? Remember?" Well, if you ever change your mind, you just let me know. You're welcome to work here forever. Yes, I hear you for the first 100 times, Mike. Now back behind the counter. I will teach you how to make cocktail later. That's a weird laugh. Aha. Da Vinci, my perfect angel. Anyway, that's my story. I'm glad you're okay, Gino. You too, Tristan. Although it looks like you still haven't found Mash yet. I see, you must be the other servant Gino told us about. It's an honor to meet a renowned genius like yourself, Leonardo da Vinci. Who are you? I'm guessing the fact that you know my name means you are a servant from proper human history. I'm Oberon the Fairy King, though I guess here is more of an aspirational title. It's nice to meet you, Da Vinci. I'm Artoria Castor. I met Gino in the Nameless Wood. To make a long story short, I'm going around with Gino pretending to be his owner. Seriously? That's hilarious. Thanks, Artoria. That must be a huge weight off Gino's shoulder. But hey, you are a British fairy too, right? You probably got some idea of what it is we're doing here by now. But you're helping Gino, so does that mean you're good with it? No, she did not tell her. Well, more or less. Honestly, I didn't really get even half of what Gino and Oberon told me. But I do know that Gino was telling the truth. I wouldn't feel right about abandoning someone in trouble when it's within my ability to help them. And honestly, it kind of seems like fun. Gotcha! Then it should be okay to speak frankly here. So, how did you end up here, Gino? Whoa, sounds like I had a hell of a time in that forest. I'm glad you made it out there okay. Thanks for keeping him safe, Tristan. You too, Oberon, Artoria. So, we still don't know much about Britain, so we have no idea where Mash is. But we do know that she's still alive, and Oberon is flat broke. That's pretty important. Okay, now that we are all on the same page, we can figure out what to do next. You made the right call, Oberon. We shouldn't be wandering aimlessly around Britain right now. What we need is to set up a base of operation here in Salisbury where we can gather information and tackle our problem one at a time. Our top priority now is finding Mash. We need to look for info on a girl wearing armor. While we do that, we should also learn more about Britain and the life of fairy who live in it. So, you want us to set up a base? Do you have a house here or something? What did you have in mind for a base? Do you have a place of your own here? I sure do. This pub doubled as an inn. Well, technically, they just copied a man-made inn without knowing what it's made for. So I taught Mike about inns and how to put up all the extra room I got here to good use. And that's a little work for my service. I could take 3 of the second floor room for myself. I knew we would eventually find each other, and that would need a Chaldea frontline base when we did, so that's why I went ahead and made one. Whoa, I'm impressed, Da Vinci. And I know Lancelot will be especially blown away by what you have done here. Is this Lancelot person also a young girl? Spit take. In one sense, you're not wrong. Yeah, that's a weird thing to say. You're not familiar with this Lostbelt. This is great. I can already tell this Da Vinci friend of yours could be a huge help. Alright, since it seems like you guys have things well in hand now, I think I'll take my leave. I've actually got a lot of other things I still have to do. You're going out to your own, Oberon? Yep. I'm going to see what I can find about this MASH girl. Not to mention we also need more information about Britain as a whole. Now that you Chaldeans have come here, things are definitely going to change. And since we still don't have many allies on our side yet, I want to make sure we know where things stand in every region. But we will see you again soon, right? Of course, especially now that I know where I can find you all. Don't worry, the next time you see me, I have a good news. In the meantime, I suggest you all get acclimated to Britain as sooner than later. Well, damn, he shouldn't waste any time. I'm glad he's on our side, but he definitely dances to the beat of his own drum, doesn't he? Indeed. And that colorful outfit of his speaks to me. It tells me he is, without a doubt, the same kind of poet as me. Ah, how this gladdened me. So what should we do now? I could show you around Salisbury if you like. Thanks, but I think we should take the rest of the day off. You all walked a long way here after all. Please go ahead and make yourself comfy in the room I mentioned. Gino, just take a room for yourself. Tristan and I shall share another. And Artoria, you can use the room it's set aside for MASH. I knew I was right not setting up for just 2 rooms. Oh, and I also put up some Mishcraft berry in the room, so we won't have to worry about being overheard. I recognize that Da Vinci wing. Looks like we'll be continuing this conversation upstairs. Really? I can have a whole room all to myself? For free? Hooray! I've been wanted my own room. I can't wait to get all comfy. So she doesn't have her own room in the village. Thank you, Da Vinci. Gosh, you proper human history fairy are all so generous. This is great. And now she's gone too. I know I didn't touch on this before, but she's pretty different from the Artoria we know, isn't she? Yes, she is, on what I have seen so far. You should consider her an entirely separate person from King Arthur, Artoria Pendragon, the King of Britain in proper human history. Yep. Which is one more thing I would like to discuss up in our room, if you two don't mind taking this there. It's better we discuss proper human history stuff just among ourselves. You really can't be too careful here. It's a 2-bedroom. Alright, let's begin by sharing what we have learned, starting with this version of Britain. You probably got a sense of this yourself on your way to Salisbury. But this Lostbelt is very different from all the others we have seen so far. It doesn't look at all like an alternate path human history could have taken, especially since humans aren't the dominant species this year. So far as I can tell, this world consists almost entirely of fairies. In Russia, a huge cold snap made it impossible for the human species to survive as they were, so we were forced to adapt and evolve. In Scandinavia, the Twilight Gods, aka Ragnarok, happens during the Age of God, and both god and people alike were in sharp decline afterward. China was ruled by a single Zenran, or true human, and became the sole nation state in the entire world. India was converging in on itself through endless cycle of reincarnation, only for the whole world instead of individual people. And in Greece, humankind was completely dominated by God who never died out. While all of them were dead end, it was still all human world. No matter how different they may have been from our timeline, they still had human society that suited the environments in the year 2019. But that is not the case here. It is very much not a human world. For one thing, there is no world outside of Britain. It's not like the other Lostbelt, when we just couldn't see the outside world thanks to the storm wall. There's just nothing in this world at all beside Britain, no other continent, and definitely no other nation. So as long as we are here, the whole planet consists of nothing but the eyes of Britain and the sea. And that means it's basically another world with no relation to human history. Yep, given what we know now, that's the only way to describe it. Over the last few days, I've been asking various fairies about what things are like between Britain and other countries, but the very idea of other countries was alien to them. So that tells me there must be some strange circumstance that caused this place to become Fairy Britain. Figuring out what that is would be the key to unraveling this lost belt. Hold on, if there aren't any other European country here, does that mean every fairy in this land comes solely from the Eye of Britain? That's a great question, Tristan. If there are no other land in this world, it followed that no fairy legend from those places would be imported here. But luckily, there's still a little thing called human history conversions. What that means is, as long as a fairy once exists on Earth, their existence will remain, even if their form and history are different. So even this fairy Britain, we have fairies from various European legends showing up in different form. Basically, the ecosystem are similar, even if the environment aren't. Since this is still the same planet Earth, there's inevitably going to be similar life forms, civilization, and large-scale event. Similar life form, huh? Yep, Fairy Britain may be nothing like the Britain we know. But despite that, the two Britain have a surprisingly number of things in common. Things like city name, fairy name. Even the name of this world is Queen. Remember that huge castle to the north you saw on the way here? It belonged to High Queen Morgan, ruler of Fairy Britain. And it probably wouldn't surprise you to learn that its name is Camelot. That's right, here in the same castle that symbolized British peace in proper human history. That goes home to King Arthur and to the Knight of the Round Table belongs to Morgan, the strongest, most despised witch in British history, the one indirectly responsible for King Arthur's death and Britain's downfall. I did hear her name a few times on the way here, but man, Morgan the witch, huh? Yep, as far as I've been able to find out, Morgan's ruled Fairy Britain for almost 2,000 years. There are 6 different fairy clans here: Wind, Earth, Fang, Mirror, Wind, and one other. They waged war with each other constantly for thousands of years, until Morgan used evil magecraft to defeat them, subjugate half of the clan through force, and united all Britain. Afterwards, she gave the humans of this world a limited degree of freedom, made them build a foundation for civilization, and developed this imitation society over the course of the last 2,000 years. Morgan, so even in this Lostbelt, she's still trying to. But no, I suppose I shouldn't say that. I'm sure this Morgan is a different person from the one we know. So, what exactly is her range like? Since she calls her castle Camelot, does that mean it's fair and just, in a way King Arthur would be proud of? No, it's pretty horrible. She has strict limits on the number of humans that can be born each year, and she ruled the fairy with an iron fist. Every fairy that lives in an urban area is inscribed with Morgan's curse, a command spell, as part of their civic duty. And every year, fairies inscribed with this command spell are forced to donate some of their vitality, magical energy, essentially. They call it existence tax. Jesus. And any fairy who can't pay it, essentially who can't provide enough magical energy to satisfy Morgan, are killed right then and there. Apparently, when she first took the throne, Morgan told the fairies, "I offer neither absolution nor salvation. I demand only that you obey without question or hesitation. Show me your fealty in word and action, and I shall keep Britain safe. Any fairy who can't handle this state of affairs and become unable to work are either taken into Camelot and dealt with there, or they escape the city and run away to lands no one else knows about. An annual existence tax, so that's why those fairies were there in the wood." Such an oppressive regime is bound to spark opposition. But even so, Morgan has maintained her iron grip on Britain for 2,000 years. Yep, which just goes to show how powerful she must be. She takes half the soul of every fairy Britain each year, and there's still no fairy able to willing to stand up to her. That said, there's some positive sides to Morgan's range. Remember those black things we fought near the shore? The fairy called them Moors, and they are on one of the calamities that have been plaguing fairy Britain since its inception. Occasionally, fairies that lose their purpose or their spark end up turning into those Moors creatures. Moors are essentially a fairy's natural predator. Just touching one is enough to infect a fairy, ultimately transforming them into a Moors too. It's kind of like a disease that will only affect fairies. And the Moors aren't the only calamity Britain has regularly contend with. There are lots of others that pop up on a regular basis. In Morgan's, the High Queen's army is constantly fending them off. Morgan may be a cold and ruthless ruler, but she's also the sword that keeps Britain safe. The fairy may fear and hate her, but they also depend on her. And that's the current state of fairy Britain. Sounds like Morgan's definitely this Lostbelt king then. Yep, that seems like a very safe assumption, which means she also had to be the one who used Rongomania. That spell was so powerful it reached Olympus from here. No one else could have cast it. Though of course, that unfortunately also means Barrow got involved with Morgan somehow. So we'll say that make our chance of peaceful negotiation with her basically nil. I see. Then we have our own reasons for defeating her. Yep, though we might have a hard time getting into Camelot since apparently no one can enter it without her permission. That said, even Morgan's reign isn't perfect. In fact, there's a new hope going around Britain right now, like the rebel. As luck would have it, we show up here at the exact right time just to think about the change. So what is new hope? A child prophecy. Specifically, a child who existed was prophesied by the head of the now extinct Mirror Clan right before they disappeared. From what I heard, it went something like this. 16 years from now, a savior shall appear. Guided by the staff of selection, the true king will take the throne. When the 6 bells rings out, the false queen will fall. Alongside Fae and human, the savior will bring an end to this false history. It's false history. Yeah, the Chaldeans would know this part, that the fairies wouldn't. So what do you think? Sounds vaguely familiar, right? It got credibility out the wazoo too, since the Mirror Clan's prophecy have never once been wrong. The High Queen's been trying to prevent the inevitable by rolling up every fairy who turned 16 this year. But the fact that this child prophecy hunt is still going on proves that she still haven't caught them. Suffice to say, between the Moors and the child prophecy alone, the cracks are showing up in the High Queen's range. So if we play our cards right, we might just be able to negotiate with Morgan after all. That said, fighting match definitely come first. For the time being, you should rest up and recover your strength. Then tomorrow, we're gonna start gathering information, quietly and casually of course, so as not to arouse suspicion. Oh man, it feels like forever since I last laid down on a soft bed. British Lostbelt, High Queen Morgan. There's a lot to take into. Victoria, Oberon. Mash, wherever you are, please be safe. Okay, I think we could use some rest too. Servant might not need to sleep, but it's still tiring to be constantly watching out for threat, right? I mean, you never took your finger off your bowstring even once that entire time. Guess that's why you were a knight at the round table, huh? just your noticing that suggests I must need rest as well. But not just yet. But please don't refrain from resting on my account, Da Vinci. You may be a servant too, but you're also being living in here and now, just like Gino. So go on, get some sleep. Don't worry, it's my duty to protect you as well as him. Gotcha! I guess I should have expected that kind of consideration from Tristan, the tribe's saddest and most handsome knight of the round table. Okay then, I think I'll take you up on that. Honestly, it was pretty big. By all means, but first, I have just one request for you. I don't want to take too much of your time, but before you fall asleep, I was hoping you would tell me about the Sixth Singularity. Specifically, I would like to hear about the version of me who was summoned there. and what I was doing in the holy city of Camelot. Aww. What does he know about that? Aurora. Is Aurora the ruler of the city? Good morning, everyone. My gosh, that bed was just so comfortable. Glad to hear it. To make all the trouble I went through to get the mattress just right worth it. Fairy bed just imitation of real bed. So the mattresses might as well have been bolder before I adjusted them. I'm here as well. If you like, I would be happy to play a song to help you all wake up. Morning, everyone. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get going. Well there, I'm glad you're so fired up, but let's just take it easy, okay? Yes, none of the High Queen's soldiers are here in the Salisbury, but she's definitely have a sympathizer here. So we just need to play it cool and casual, okay? You're going out, Da Vinci. Oh, Da Vinci is the bastardized Da Vinci. Oh, now I get it. So you're not going to wait table with your beautiful roller skating today? Sorry, I'm off to do some sightseeing, but don't worry. I will help out in the afternoon. Oh, right. That was our deal, wasn't it? Hey, you there. I don't know which clan you're from, but you better not tie Da Vinci out. You hear? Huh? What's up, Gino? Something is on your mind? I'm just wondering what's up with the sky. It looked like afternoon. I was just thinking the sky looked awfully similar to how it did yesterday. Huh, so... Oh, that? Yeah, I was surprised by that at first too. The weather here never changed. I got one sky pattern for days and another for night, and that's it. It does supposedly rain here sometime, but apparently it's just always cloudy here. No blue sky. Huh? Blue sky? Your Britain skies turn blue sometime? Oh yes, when there's no cloud in the sky, it becomes a beautiful shade of blue as far as the eye can see. Though that's not to say these skies aren't beautiful in their own right. So the same color as the blue bell then. That's what your skies look like? Wow! Then your world must be very bright and beautiful. The kind of place where everyone always smiles and help one another, no matter how hard life gets. Anyway, shall we start gathering information then? Oh, and I need to pretend to be Gino's owner, right? Oh, then maybe I'll try acting like a big shot and going to one of those restaurants I've heard so much about. Did you know they wouldn't even let you into wood without an attendant? They wouldn't let you into a wood roost without an attendant. Hey, as long as there are a lot of fairy there, I'm good with whatever. Okay, let's scope the place out while we pretend to just taking a walk. We also want to keep our ear peeled for any juicy rumors and talk to people ourselves at times. Have I heard anything about a fairy in iron armor? What, quite interested in joining the High Queen's army? Don't bother, nothing good will come from joining them now. This is year Ainso. How do you say Ainso prophesied about, remember? The child prophecy will appear this year and bring salvation to all. Who knows, maybe the High Queen will finally cut us a break on our taxes if she actually take a few licks for once. Huh? You're not looking to join? You're looking for a lost companion, huh? Afraid we can't help you then. Iron armor? You wouldn't find anything like that here. You'll have to go north to Norwich for iron. That's not what we meant. You ought to still be making those silly weapons up there, at least if Springer hadn't shut down the mine. What kind of weapons, you say? What else? Sword, spear, bow, axes, you know, the usual. I swear, I never thought I would see the day fairy was used with iron weapon of all things. What could the High Queen be thinking? Still, at least the tribe prophecy should do something about all of that. Just gotta be patient a little longer. Hey, have you guys heard the latest about the calamity pool in Norway? They say Norway's sky is pitch black now, even during daytime. There's no way they're going to last much longer there, with such calamity presence. I mean, between all the iron, scoot, noise, and human there, they have no one to blame but themselves. But even so, I just can't help but to worry. I mean, what are we going to do if Norwegian refugees decide to come here to Salisbury? There's so much history here, we've got too many Earth-clan fairies as it is. But Lady Aurora is so kind, I can't imagine her turning them away. You're looking for something? Are you searching just in Salisbury or all Britain? Ha ha ha, if it's all of Britain, these fairies aren't gonna be a much help. It's so nice here in Salisbury that nobody ever wants to leave. If you want to know what's going on in other cities, you would just have to visit them yourself. Oh, but you don't have wings, do you? Well, that rules that out then. If the more gets you, it's all over. Anyway, I wonder what tonight's festival is gonna be about. I hope it's another play about the child prophecy and the evil witch. I love the part where the High Queen in her dark night fighting against what is coming to them. Worn out. Well, that was disappointing. Okay, not so much luck today, huh? We need to go somewhere else. I mean, I wasn't really expecting to find a solid lead in just one day. But all anyone wanted to talk about was a child prophecy. They barely even listened to what we had to say. Indeed, the last fairy even tried to get us to buy some questionable child prophecy merchandise. Seriously? I haven't seen a whole city so fervorously excited about something other than Christmas. A child prophecy craze, Sounds like there's a lot of money to be made there. I guess it just goes to show how much people are counting on them. I wonder who this child prophecy could be anyway. It's right next to you. I mean, she's right next to you. That's the wrong way to say it. Oh my gosh, her face. Yeah, the only other thing these fairy want to talk about besides the child prophecy were the rumors going around about Norway, the eastern port town. I gotta say, it's made me really curious about this child prophecy too. I wonder what kind of fairy they are. If they really are planning to fight Morgan like the prophecies say, Maybe we could even convince them to help us. What do you think? Should we try looking for this child prophecy as well as MASH? Any fairy who can get the other fairies so excited must be incredibly strong and brave. She can't take this. Oh, she thinks she's weak. Good day, everyone. I'm back once again. Not as many customers today, I see. Oh, it's Oberon. Over here, Oberon. Hey there, having a little lunch after your morning walk around the city, huh? Anyway, it looks like you are all having fun. Hope you don't mind if I join you. I'm a passable fighter at best, but a master of killing with compliment. Much more peaceful that way. Here, I'll show you. Before long, I'll be heaping so much praise on Artoria that she'll be begging me for mercy. Oh yeah, definitely. She's weak to that. Artoria? Why? You mean you haven't told them yet, Artoria? Oh, yes. I was expecting the reveal to be soon. The child prophecy everyone's is on about. That's her. I just assumed you knew since she got King Arthur's name and all. Ha ha ha. I mean, yeah, the thought did cross my mind once I heard you were named Artoria. But still, you? Artoria? Really? I mean, let's be real, you have less magical energy than most fairy, right? You might have better magical circuit than a human. Well, since you're a fairy, I guess they would be Age of God pattern. Anyway, they're still below average for a fairy. Hell, even Mike there must be stronger than you. So how can you be the child prophecy meant to defeat the High Queen? Mood. I know, you're right. It doesn't make sense, does it? I'm so sorry. I know it's not right that someone like me is carrying around the staff of selection. Still, it's not like we know for certain that I'm the child prophecy. There's a chance that I might not be. Besides, I don't really have the guts to fight the High Queen, or the drive, or the determination. I don't belong to any of the clans either, and I have so little magical energy that I have to fudge it with magecraft. I can't even get close to the bell I'm supposed to ring. I mean, I do plan to do the best I can in spite of all that. But let's just say it's a very uphill battle. Honestly, I still don't know why I was chosen. You don't think you can do this, Artoria? I don't know. All I can say is that if I really am the child prophecy, then there must be some way for me to fight. It's why I was born and how I was raised. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm completely hopeless. The last time I came to Salisbury was to meet with the head of the Wind Clan. But I ended up deciding to try Manchester next because nobody here would even give me the time of day. I see, so that's why you didn't say anything sooner. Fairy can sense how much magical energy you've got at a glance, so I'm sure they only laughed when you told them you were the child prophecy. I bet they also yelled at you and told you to not lie. They probably also scold you something fierce. They did, so I thought I would start by convincing the head of the clan who I was. But they just turned me away at the gate. The head of the Queen clan, huh? That would be Aurora. Personally, I think you're pretty great as you are now, but I can see why you would feel a need to boost your prestige. Well, if that's the only problem, I can take care of it right now. What do you mean by that, Oberon? I mean, I can get you a meeting with Aurora if you want. Oh. This is like a church. That cathedral? There, see how easy we got in? Take a look. This is the heart of Salisbury, the home of its great bell. How do you say this? What the hell?
AESC.
AC. What? AC. This is a AC. Cathedral, the oldest and largest building in all of fairy Britain. Now then, Aurora room is on the top floor. So what say we start heading up? I have already sent words about arrival, so we shouldn't have any trouble with the guards. Whoop, hang on. Good day, King of the Autumn Woods. Your visit is sudden and unexpected, but we welcome you here all the same. However, it is Aurora. However, it seems I must remind you that this cathedral is the holy ground where kings and queens are made. The steep site of Queen Morgan, High Queen Morgan, coronation 2,000 years ago. As such, regardless how much affection Lady Aurora may have for you, I cannot allow such lowly creature as human to enter, attendants or not. Guards, to me, capture these unidentified fairies and that disgusting human. If the humans submit, very well. However, should he attempt to resist or flee, dispose of him. Oh shit. This goes for Oberon too, of course. You needn't show him any leniency. We have received complaint about him from pubs across the city demanding that he pay his tabs. My, isn't how I expected things to go. Oberon! Maybe he's not actually as popular as he claimed. Those are your orders, Lady Coral. Then we will gladly comply. But are you sure about this? Lady Aurora told us to let him through right away. She seemed thrilled about his visit. Don't you talk back to me. You may have been chosen to be guard, but you're still mere human. Know your place. Unless, of course, you would rather I turn you into rabbits so you don't have to be humans anymore. No, milady. I'm very sorry about this, Lord Oberon. It's really nothing personal. We're just doing our job. It seems we have no choice but to do battle then. Even though their heart clearly aren't in it. Come, Gino, let's show them how strong we truly are. Oh right, forgot. The archer classes make archer class line up pretty weak. This is so sad.
Daijoubu. 落ち着いて、普段通りに。そんなに見たいの？白兵戦、行きます。コンタクト、リロード。今のうちに準備を。こうしてほしいんでしょう。全部と次にはバシバシ行くぞ。通信途絶。こうなったら全軍突撃。撃って撃って撃ちまくれ。これこそ姫の白羅城。正式ミリミリライトフィーバー。 その両翼確約3連行くわよ。いいわ。そうしたいの？こっちよ。ファイヤー。はあ、ちょっと疲れちゃった。魔力供給お願いね、マスター。
Yeah, it should be easy. You see that, Coral? You see what Gino and I are capable of? This is what happens when you look down on people for being human or having no money. Having no money doesn't... It's unrelated to fighting power. Probably not a good time to point out that Oberon was just standing behind them, cheering. Oh, yeah, that's what he was talking about. Very well, it would seem that human is indeed not your typical expendable worker. And Lady Aurora does love Ray, an unusual thing. It's part of what makes her so strong. Alright, just this once, I grant you an audience with her, but don't let it go over your head. Ray and unusual things are only interesting the first time you see them. Once the novelty wears off, they become worthless. If I were you, I would try to make the most of this. I would try to make the most of this good fortune, as you wouldn't have many other such chances in the future. So, this is Aurora. Jesus, that head and waist. Hello, Oberon. What delightful story do you have for me today? Jeez, the wing. So colorful. You know so very many things. I'm sure it must be something special. Whatever it is, I can't wait to hear it. I could use some cheer after all the unfortunate news recently. Jeez, and sparkling. Wow, she's beautiful. I didn't think it was possible to go blind from sheer splendor until today. Why yes, I have two things for you today. One is something you absolutely must know. The other is a request for a small favor. But don't worry, I won't take much of your time at all. That said, could I first make a somewhat selfish request? You see, I would like to keep what I'm about to tell you just between us. You don't mind keeping secret, right? Oh my, you're a naughty one, aren't you? Don't usually care for scary story. But a little love thrill does sounds like fun. Would you give us some privacy, Coral? Lady Aurora! It's alright, I know we can trust them. It's only the right answer in kind. As you wish, but please don't hesitate to call for me if you should change your mind. You have to forgive us, Coral. She's a very proud girl, and she can be quite inflexible. She's probably gave you a very harsh welcome again, didn't she? I'm just glad to see you're not hurt. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, friend of Oberon. I am Aurora, head of the Wind Clan and Lord of Salisbury. Now, what did you come to tell me today? Whoa, I guess it's no surprise that the whole mood just changed in here. Figure she didn't become the head of the clan through her beauty alone. Well, you see this is stranded friend of ours we've not been able to find. Oh my, oh my, oh my. How many years has it been since a human spoke so frankly to me? Oh, how delightfully different. Tell me, what's your name? Are you a free citizen? What kind of pedigree do you... Ah, I'm so sorry you already served this fine young fairy, don't you? Oh goodness, how rude of me. Really, Aurora? You must do something about your tendency to take in every stray human you find. Otherwise, you will eventually have every human in Britain living in Salisbury. And I'm sure you don't need any more resistance from your fellow clan member, seeing how you're the only one who favors coexistence. Yes, I know, you're right, of course. But when I saw those big puppy eyes of his begging me for help, well, I just couldn't resist. Good grip. Well, this is exactly why I brought him to see you to begin with. Remember what I told you about Chaldea and the other world called proper human history? Well, this boy here is the master of Chaldea. The two people behind him are servants, not fairies. Oberon? Don't worry, it's okay. Aurora here may be from Fairy Britain, but she thinks a lot like the fairy of proper human history. And why she would never come out and say it, she's not happy with the state of things in Britain either, right? It's been 2,000 years now since Britain fell into Morgan's hand. And you have been here, watching it unfold every step of the way. You think it's time for Morgan's reign to end, regardless of what form that end takes. I remember how your eyes sparkled with hope when I told you about the outside world. Gino here has come from Britain solely to defeat Morgan. She's not even thinking about what happened afterward. Suffice to say, he also had no intention of ruling in Morgan's place when she's gone. Once the Chaldeans leave, whether Britain live or die would be for you and your fellow fairies to decide. Chaldeans is definitely not going to care if you try to save what's left of it. They will gladly stay out of your way. Morgan is their only concern, nothing more. So it would seem. While that girl back in the back doesn't seem very happy that you're telling me this boy here isn't denying anything you say. So you're a traveler from another world, a Briton that went down the right path. It's still hard to believe, but maybe this too is Enzo's guidance at work. Either way, one thing is clear, since we both have our own trouble, it's only right that we help one another. Gino, was it? You have my permission to act in Salisbury however you'll see fit, even if your actions should be in opposition to the land of the Fae. If you're looking for your lost companion, then I'll lend you the eyes of my fellow wind fairy in the other city. I can't contact my compatriot in Norwich at the moment, but I will have my wind fairy in Oxford, Gloucester, New Darlington and Camelot help you in your search. You need only tell Coral what your companion looks like. Just hope my claim can be of assistance. Oh wow, thank you so much. That's great, but are you sure it's okay? You mean for me to help Chaldea? Tihi? I see you're both kind and honest boy, Gino. True, as a citizen of Fairy Britain, perhaps it is wrong of me to help you. But I'm more concerned with us Fae folks' ways of life than I'm with returning this land itself. The High Queen is a great woman, certainly. but the path we are on right now will not lead us anywhere good. All that said, I would still like to keep the relationship of ours on the down low for the time being. After all, you're the head of a clan. If Morgan finds out you have side with the Chaldea and proper human history, she may have all the Wind Clan fairy killed. So this collaboration should be kept quiet so we can deny knowing anything about each other in case of things come to that. Other Wind Clan fairy dead, so not even you could defeat High Queen Morgan if you face her directly. No, I couldn't. She could wipe us all out with one flick of her finger. I see. Gosh, she's really something, isn't she? She's thinking about she's 2 weeks and can't defeat Morgan. Oh yes, she's a very special fairy. The only one who could hope to defeat her is the Child Prophecy from Enso's last prediction. It's too bad this child have yet to reveal themselves. I can only hope they come save us as soon as possible. Huh? He's gonna say it right now. Ah, he's gonna do it. Yes, he's really gonna do it. How right you are, Aurora. I may very well be about to make your days. There's someone I would like you to meet. Huh? What are you doing, Oberon? Please stop! Stop! That's right, Artoria is none other than the Star of the Hope. The Star of Hope you who hail from Tintagel. Born alongside the Stab of Selection that will bring Morgan to justice. She's the one, the only Child of Prophecy. Go on now, don't be shy. Oberon! I love this face. You do have some delightful friend, Oberon. I would like to be tackled to the ground like that by myself sometime. Why, thank you. I can't say I expected such a direct method of silencing me either. Still, Artoria would never say anything if I hadn't put her on the spot like that. She's kind of a late bloomer, you see, and she's still not confident about being the Child of Prophecy. So we were hoping you might be able to offer her your seal of approval. Say, for example, maybe she could ring one of your bells mentioned in the prophecy? Oh. Whoa, even I wouldn't have come up with that. Impressive. No, that I'm afraid I can't allow. While there is indeed a bell said to be the voice of the Wind Clan right above this room, I can only let her ring it once she has proven herself to me. Words alone will not suffice. She will need to demonstrate her abilities, so there can be no question. You said your name was Artoria, yes? And it seems you do indeed have the Stab of Selection. I still don't understand what the Stab of Selection truly signify. The only one who does is Enso, the head of Mirror Clan, and no one has seen any member of the Mirror Clan for years. All I can do is see for myself whether you have the making of a king. And how exactly do you propose to do that? Oh my, what a lovely voice, and here I thought you might be mute. Very well then, out of respect for those dulcet tone, I will tell you my condition. Artoria, Gino, I would like you two to show me that there's still hope for our world. So here's my test to see if Britain can still be changed. As you know, we fairies are plagued by a dark fate. Every 100 years, a calamity befall us, a curse that even Morgan herself has been able to dispel. For the last few months, there have been a powerful Morse current winning its way through Norway, a calamity pool. If you two can get rid of Norway of this calamity, then I will gladly give you access to Salisbury's Bell. So we're gonna go to Norway next. Guessing this, the port. And where's Camelot? This the place? It's just like a tree. A small city of here. It's like a look less like a city, more like a crater. Hole. So she wants us to get rid of the calamity in Norway, huh? I don't think she would be the one to bring it up. What is the calamity in Norway? I have never seen one for myself, but I have heard plenty of stories. Apparently, they are kind of a natural disaster that befall fairy Britain every 100 years. I have heard about these calamity too, and I have also already told Gino about them. Norwich is a port town in eastern Britain, and apparently it's been showing signs that it will be the home of the next calamity for a few months now. They say that there's a ton of black soot seeds rising into the air that gather above it like a rain cloud. Aurora said she would permit us to ring the bells as long as we can resolve this calamity, right? So we need to disperse these clouds of soot, huh? Unfortunately, I never learned any magecraft that could do that. Well, that's okay. It's tall enough order that I think we can forget about it for the time being. Right now, our top priority is finding Mash. And now that Aurora is helping us do that, we should receive some word of her whereabouts in a few days. So all you guys need to do is wait at the inn until then. And then again, doing nothing might not be the best use about our time, huh? Okay, I'll send you a list of things you can do to earn money and gather information later then. Later? Why later? Are you going up on your own again? Well, you know, I thought about what Cora said, and I probably should see about paying my tab if I start racking up more. Okay, that's all for now. I'll see you all again in 3 days. There, that should get them to rest up in Salisbury at least a little more. What is he planning? Kinda sus. Meanwhile, I've got my work cut out for me. First, I will need to go find out what's going on in Norway. Oh, welcome back, Blanca. How's the situation up north? How have Nognaria force advance? Huh? Another child prophecy has shown up there? I definitely wasn't expecting that. Ainsa didn't say anything about there being two of them in her prophecy. This put Atora in an even more precarious position. I thought I would have more time. Yes, of course. Atora is a real child prophecy. That much was never in doubt. But it wouldn't matter who the real one is. What matter will be who the fairy believes is the real one. Still, it's not all bad. Let's focus on the silver lining here. A false child prophecy in the north is bound to draw Morgan's attention, which means Artoria and Gino should be safe for now. They will give me time to ensure they grow stronger. They're not ready for Norway. They need to experience Britain for themselves and to gain the power to adapt and conquer its challenges. Do you really have time for that, you say? Haha, you're a tough crowd, aren't you, Blanca? But you have to take your time with the opening act. That's how it was for us at first too, remember? Oh, she's down. Something wrong, Artoria? Oh no, I'm fine. I was just nervous. Since I'm not used to speaking with the head of an entire clan. Sorry, I've got a lot on my mind. I think you're just going to turn in for the night. Let's meet up here again tomorrow morning, okay? Bye for now. Looks like we will have to readjust our perception of her too. Come on, Gino, Tristan, let's head back to our room. We should talk about our next move while it's still safe to do so. Okay, that's everything that's happened so far in a nice tidy report. It's all yours now, Typhon. Take it away, my little familiar. There, that takes care of our report to the storm border. We should hear back from them in about 2 days. Now, let's go over everything we've learned so far. That said, our main topic isn't Morgan, but the child prophecy who's supposedly going to defeat her, right? Yep, the truth is, we have been dropping our guard around her a little too much. At first, we thought it was just a little coincidence that she shared a name with King Arthur and didn't think about it any further. But we can now say for certain that she is this Lostbelt King Arthur. I'm sure I don't need to remind you too that Chaldea already confronted the legend about King Arthur in the sixth singularity, but I still think it's worth a time to quickly refresh our memory of those legends, just so we are on the same page. The legend of King Arthur takes place in the 5th century, a time when Britain was in great turmoil. It began in the collapse of the continental empire, with the empire no longer keeping Britain safe. It came under frequent attack by the Saxons, a foreign enemy who crosses the sea to attack British shore. At the time, Britain was an island nation ruled by many different clans and those clans' king. While there were always constant squabble between the clans, there was also a war with the Pig up in the north, where the clan's king agreed to work together. But one king created an irreparable rift in this alliance. He used the other clans for his own ends, with the goal of ultimately uniting all of Britain. His name was Vortigern, who was said to be the avatar of a white dragon born from Britain itself. Jesus, that sounds badass. White dragon. Meant to bring it to ruin. Vortigern invited the Saxon to the Isles, throwing it into chaos. Londinium, the fortress city that served as the heart of Britain during the Empire's range, was destroyed. Vortigern then defeated and killed Uther Pendragon, the greatest king of all Britain. And so Britain entered a dark age, a time where none of the island could escape its imminent destruction. However, hope still remained. King Uther's most trusted IA, Merlin, the great mage who had long kept Britain safe, told people that this too was all part of the prophecy. King Uther had already chosen his successor. They shall be the next king. Whoever draws the sword of selection from this stone shall be Britain's king. Many knights tried their hand at drawing the sword, but none of them succeeded. It was only once the knight had all left, convinced that the sword of selection was no more than a delusion. That was a young squire of 15, a boy who had been raised without ever knowing he was King Uther's son. Came and drew the sword from the stone with no one there to bear witness. That sword was Caliburn, and that boy did indeed go on to become the king of Britain. Arthur Pendragon, the knight among knights, or as we know her, Victoria Pendragon. After announcing himself as King Uther's successor, King Arthur assembled the Lord of Britain and led them to 12 magnificent victories against the Saxons. In doing so, he proved himself an invincible king, the undefeated king of knights. But unbeknown to him, the Saxons weren't his only enemy. The greatest threat the king of knights faced came from within his own family. Vortigern, the avatar of the white dragon who defeated King Arthur's father. Uther and brought Britain to its knee. Morgan, the fair queen who declared it was Britain's very will that she become its ruler. Morgan's machinations succeeded in robbing the king of knights of Caliburn, but the fairy gave him an even greater sword. That sword was Excalibur, a sacred sword forged within the planet's inner sea. In the world of magecraft, it is considered a divine construct, an ultimate weapon meant to destroy that which threatens the very planet. In laying claim to this sacred sword, King Arthur became Britain's savior in both name and deed. After a climatic battle with Vortigern in the ruin of Londinium, King Arthur, with help from the fairies, built the towering white castle of Camelot. Lords from all across the Isle came to Camelot to serve King of Knights. It became the Knight of the Round Table, where all were treated as equal. It's a bit odd telling this story with Tristan here, but this is how the Knight of the Round Table were formed. Lancelot, the Knight of France, blessed by the Lady of the Lake. Gawain, the heir of Orkney, blessed by the sun. Tristan, nephew of the Duke of Cornwall. The Prince of Tragedy, you are also said to be the symbol of romantic period. That's right, those are the proud Knight of the Round Table, my cherished friend who filled his 13th seat. Sturdy Percival, Clever Kay, Loyal Bedivere, Ernest Gaheris, Kind-hearted Gareth, Agravain the Enforcer, Palamedes the duelist, taciturn, moderate. And the greatest knight of all, chosen by the Holy Grail, Galahad the Revelation. In addition to King Arthur, the first seed, you could also count King Pellinore, King Arthur's trusted advisor, and Bors, the future 11th seed, for 15 in total. At any rate, those are the Knights of the Round Table I knew when they were at their peak. Yeah, the Knight of the Round Table's peak is also the happiest time in the legend of King Arthur. While other problems would present themselves in the quest for the Holy Grail, and in the decisive battle against Pig and the Saxon, it was the affair between Lancelot and Guinevere, King Arthur's queen, that changed things forever. Once the affair came to light, the Knights of the Round Table became shadow of their former self. During an expedition to the Roman Empire, Mordred took advantage of King Arthur's absence and staged a rebellion. That was the beginning of what would later be known as King Arthur's final battle, the Battle of Camlan. It was in this battle that King Arthur drew his final breath. Bedivere personally returned the sacred sword to the fairy. The final chapter of ancient Britain history was concluded. After that, King Arthur's body was brought to Avalon, the paradise at the world's end, by the fairies at the lake, as the future king who would one day return to life. And that's the quick and dirty version of the legend of King Arthur. Thanks for listening. Yeah, that took quite a lot of time. Oh wow, it's already nighttime. So with all that in mind, let's get back to the British Lostbelt. In proper human history, King Arthur drew the sword of selection while he was still an unknown boy. And amidst the hope, envy, admiration, and prejudice of other knights, ascended to the throne as king. Meanwhile, here in fairy Britain, Arturia may still be unknown and unrecognized. But even so, she wielded the staff of selection, and she was traveling across Britain on her own as a child prophecy. So she got the same name and the same face and the same destiny. No way all that can be coincidence. Which means Arturia Castle is this world's King Arthur. She's destined to be Britain's savior. Britain's savior, huh? But why now? King Arthur saved Britain in the 5th century, but it's 2019. If she really is Britain's savior, shouldn't she have shown up in the distant past? That's the question, isn't it? I'm not sure why her story is taking place now either. But I did overhear one interesting thing from some local fairies. Apparently, the child prophecy is the reincarnation of AES. Wait, no, is this not? AES. The savior, and was sent here to save British once again. Ace, as in the word chief from Norse mythology. Wait, a different mythology? This is strange. Ace. Yep, or at least it's the same name. See, once Morgan began ruling Britain, she officially named this period of time the era of the High Queen. The timing lined up exactly with when proper human history changed to AD. But while proper human history stopped in the year AD 2019, in this world the year 2019 of the era of the Queen but the High Queen is still unfolding. In the previous era, aka BC in proper human history term, it's called Fey era. Furthermore, during the Fey era, there was apparently a fairy who saved Britain from the calamity countless times. Acer Savior. Apparently, there are only a few fairies left. Remember Hector the Immortal, Grand Duke Waste Heat, Rhyneck, Grimmer the Sage, and Torchrot the First Knight. But they still speak of her legend in Hearthstone. So if a savior show up in this world before, that may mean Fairy Britain has a system for such things. Something akin to the counter force that the island itself used to fight back when Britain is in danger. And if that's true, it would explain why Artoria was only born now in this time. Plus we are going up against High Queen frickin' Morgan here. Who else but King Arthur could fight her? A savior reborn. I wonder if Morgan really is still a bad guy in this Lostbelt. Anyway, that took longer than I expected. Now that we have gone over everything, I'm gonna make 2 suggestions. First, I think we should continue working with Artoria Caster. While we don't necessarily have to destroy this Lostbelt, it does seem pretty clear that we will have to face High Queen Morgan at some point. And when we do, having the Child Prophecy on our side can only work in our advantage. And second, I think we should keep our goal, including Claudius' whole deal, to ourselves. It's fine to tell her about the proper human history. Hell, it would be impossible to communicate if we didn't. But we shouldn't reveal that we have eliminated 5 other Lostbelt to date. I know it's not the most honest move, but sometimes not laying all our cards on the table is the way to go. And like I said before, there's something strange about this world, even for a Lostbelt, and there's still too much we don't know. So until we have much better understanding of what's going on here, we want to keep our goal at stopping Britons from disappearing. Even if we eventually end up having to fight it after saving it. Okay, so we can't tell Artoria about any of this then. So we're going to keep all this from Artoria. That's right, I'm sorry Gino, I know that won't be easy for you. But for what it's worth, my intuition is telling me things aren't going to come to that. I have a feeling we are going to save Britain, stop this collapse from destroying our world, and go our separate way with a smile without ever having to do battle with Britain. Ooh, this long section. Well, it's been 3 hours. I think I'll take a break. I mean stop the stream here. Oh, my eyes pretty tired. My throat seems fine though. Okay. Still only section 3. Still a lot left to go through. So okay, I think this is where I'm gonna end the stream here. maybe I will. My next stream will be tomorrow. Yeah, if nothing goes wrong. Oh my goodness, make a waiting room like maybe. Well, I'll make it tomorrow night. Yeah. So, goodbye everyone. That's it for tonight. The story getting pretty interesting, but this is still just a setup. We're looking forward to read the rest.